Here we go, guys. Gonna throw up the intro card for YouTube purposes, and we got it. AcMaiden with the greenskins taking on Takoyaki in the Vampire Coast in round 1 of this best-of-3 battle. So, let's go ahead, remove the intro card, and get right to it. So, starting with our blue player, as is tradition, we are going to be starting with the infantry first. We got Orc Boys, recently featured on Zerkovich's YouTube channel as the best cheap infantry in the game. Not chaff infantry, but cheap infantry. And so we'll see how they do here. And actually, did I miscount? There's 5 of them? Yeah, 5 Orc Boys. We're going to have Mogrim's Mangy Marauders with 2 Forest Goblin Spider Riders, one of which will be the Death Creepers. We are going to be looking here at a Orc Shaman, going to be bringing Fist of Gork, Brain Burster, and Headbutt. And then we're also going to have a Goblin Big Boss with They Need Stabbing on top of a Spider. Now, plenty of archers here. Got Savage Orc Arrow Boys. 1, 2, and 3. And then we're going to have Orc Arrow Boys. So a combination of the two, just maybe to save on cost a little bit. And it looks like we're going to have, so actually 4 Savage Orc Arrow Boys and 2 regular Orc Arrow Boys. We're also going to have some Goblins in the back line. And then Grom the Punch is going to lead this army. He's got the Axe of Grom, as well as the Lucky Banner. The Great Un is here in Language of the Boys. Now that is just completely glorious. Anyways, I digress. Coming back here, looks like we're going to have some Night Goblin Squig Hoppers, some of my favorite units in the damn game. 2 of them, one of which will be the ROR. Now, let's go ahead and cover the opponent's army, Takoyaki, and it looks like we're going to be seeing the Vampire Coast. So, Zombie Pirate Deckhand Mob, looks like we have 5 of them up front. We got 2 Bombers, 3 Polearms, and then Depth Guard with Polearms, 2 of them, including the Bloody Reaver Depth Guard. I love this. We're going to have good old deck droppers up in the air. Wait, actually, no. Just kidding. Wait, they are deck droppers. Yes, so 4 deck droppers up in the air for the skirmish potential. And then we are going to have Queen Bess herself, Gunnery White down here with extra powder and Scab Scrath. And then we have a Vampire Fleet Admiral with the lore of vampires and pistols. He's got Black Parafat, Invocation of Heck, and the Summon. Now, checking over here, it looks like Queen Bess just had a very nice connection with the Orc Air Boys, doing some pretty serious damage, and we're going to see the deck droppers pushing forward to harass Grom the Paunch. And as long as they play it smart, they should be able to stay ahead of the infantry arrows, but they will have to contend with the Forest Goblin Spider Riders, sooner or later. Over here, gonna see Greenskins doing a nice job just counter skirmishing with their mobile cav, and just zoning out, screening out the deck droppers so they can't be getting a ton of damage, and it's really helping the Greenskins just keep a nice smooth approach. But Queen Bess is really not messing around. Tried to take a pot shot at the missile cav, but was easily dodged because the Greenskin cav just has so much speed. Over here, though, the same can't be said for the Orc Boys. They are just losing models and health every single time that Queen Bess smashes into them. And you can see that the player is also taking the time in micro to manually fire the Queen Bess, basically just shooting her like a cannon directly into units of Greenskin infantry. Very accurate and effective, but very difficult to just ignore your entire army to go in and manually fire the mortar. Boom! See that? Another manual fire. He's shooting it once, auto fire like how the cannon does it, and then he's going in and controlling it and firing it manually so he can have a higher rate of fire. Use up ammunition quicker, and it's a big sacrifice in micro, but you can get a lot of damage done that way if you're doing it right. Queen Bess right now just raking up the value and the kills, and the Greenskins so far look like they're kind of on their heels. They finally closed the gap, and now the archers are really going to start, making away like bandits, I think. But a lot of the Greenskin infantry is in bad shape right now from Queen Bess. Over here, Brainburster going down. Greenskins making a concerted effort to deal with these zombie pirate bombers. Can't disagree with that decision. They're a very, very devastating unit, especially against lightly armored infantry, and the Greenskins have plenty of it in this build. And right now, Queen Bess. Woo, woo. There's the manual fire. Oh, it's going to be a miss, though. Yeah, that's a lot of micro dedication. So, color me impressed over here. Queen Bess just continuing to devastate everything. I mean, I feel like I'm just beating a dead horse. What else do I need to focus on? I mean, over here, actually, how am I missing this? Greenskins in trouble. You have the deck droppers doing exactly what they should be doing, which is just continuing to harass all of these routing units. And now the Greenskins, like, look at it. Their missiles, their infantry, like, they are losing units quickly. Another manual fire from the Queen Bess, actually getting some good damage there. I don't know, guys. This is some really, really good play here from the Vampire Coast, and I have to say I might be a new fanboy of Takoyaki. I'm really enjoying this playstyle. It's actually absolutely insane. Brainburster going down. Here comes a headbutt. Not sure if that's going to do much. Over here, Queen Bess continuing to dominate. I can't resist. So 219 kills on top of her so far, which is disgusting. Okay, and she goes again, smashing into the Savage Orc Arrow Boys this time. Vampire Fleet Captain, or Admiral, sorry, with the pistol is still doing just fine. You got the Bloody River Depth Guard, which are just crushing anything that comes near them. Like, I forgot about them for a minute, but the Depth Guard, look at them. They're just mopping up the rest of the Greenskin infantry. Anything that comes in here, these guys are just smashing. Still my beating heart, Takoyaki. You're a man after my own heart. This is rough. Greenskins, arguably the strongest faction in the game right now. A lot of people, you know, requesting nerfs and stuff, but right here, this is quite a convincing win for the Coast if they can hold on to it. But as I say that, I'm starting to see back here, like, oh, maybe they'll lose it here. You know, there's still a chance. Another manual fire from Queen Bess. Absolutely insane. We'll see if Invocation Heck goes down on top of her or something in the near future, but right now looks like the White King, or the Gunnery White I should say, was killed off by the Greenskin Hero Squad. But looks like he was able to pop off at least 2 more powders on top of Queen Bess, because she's still about the 3rd health. Another manual fire. That one's going to be a little off. Going to miss its intended target. Over here, going to be seeing the Depth Guard coming in really to save the day here, because the Greenskins won't be able to stay in combat with this Fleet Admiral if there's a ton of Depth Guard surrounding her. Invocation of the Heck, Overcast going down, hitting all 3 of those key units, the Hero and the 2 Depth Guard. Grom and the Goblin Big Boss both thinking, alright, it's time to get out of here. And while they're running away, the Fleet Admiral's going to continue shooting him in the back, and she's still over half ammunition. Balance of power is really out of hand here, and yeah, don't think I see this going to the Greenskins anymore. Queen Bess is crumbling, but we'll see if he shoots Grom, I will lose my mind. I'm just waiting for it, praying. I just don't think the Greenskins have anything to kill the Depth Guard anymore. Unfortunately, it is going to be a bit of a miss, but immediately another shot goes down. Looks like this one might be a miss, or a dead. No, it's dead on. Orc Boy's getting eviscerated by these mortar rounds. Oof. that's it. That's going to be the shot that ends the war, or the battle, I should say. The war is still ongoing. It's a best of 3 after all, but a very convincing victory from Takoyaki with the Vampire Coast over the Greenskins. I mean, Greenskins leadership doing okay for themselves, you know, at least paying for themselves, but infantry getting shut down super hard. I mean, honestly, the missile cav was really the strongest part here. You know, Squig's got some good value, but it was, you know, getting zombies, and they couldn't shut down the Queen Bess. Over here, you know, you're going to be seeing probably very little value until we get to maybe deck droppers, but nah, not much on them. Bombers got shut down hard, but Bloody Reaver depth guard and regular depth guard, 84 and 16. You guys kill? Are you kidding me? Almost 2,000 damage on one of them and about 1,500 on the other. That is insane. And then, wow, you know, just a cool 3,000 plus damage value dealt. God bless you, Queen Bess. 299 kills. Vindictive Glare destroyed Bess? Yes, and that's why it's a very risky pick, and I would have been curious to see what would have happened. Because, keep in mind, Orc Shaman also didn't have Gaze of Mork. So there's 2 magic missiles here that can really shut down the Queen Bess in a hurry. Neither of them were brought, and it didn't happen. So I'm curious to see if that's a game that would go differently. Because, like, yeah, I don't think without the Queen Bess, this army doesn't win. I mean, obviously, if you don't have the Queen Bess, then you can spend it in many different ways if you're... Anyways, I guess I'm saying in this battle, if they had magic missiles and shut down the Queen Bess, Vampire Coast loses. I genuinely feel this is a linchpin unit in this build. And so the Greenskins could have undercut it. I think that could have gone their way quite easily. But depth guard really doing a ton of work there too. But without further ado, let's throw up the intro card and get to the battle. So here we have it. It's a Wood Elf Civil War. We got AcMaiden, or AcMaiden, sorry, bringing Arguelon versus Takoyaki with Wood Elves. This is round 2, and Takoyaki is up 1 point and is on his match point. So here we go, removing the intro card and getting to the battle. Looks like we may have some Vanguard shenanigans here on MP Alpine Ridge. I'm going to start with our red player this time, since we start with blue in the first round. Now we are going to see Eternal Guard, along with the Winterheart Guard, the ROR Unbreakable version. We're also going to have a 3rd unit of them. Now we have 2 War Dancers with Aserai Spears. And then we're going to be taking a look here at a healthy number of Dryads. Looks like 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5, including the Wraiths of the Frozen... Excuse me. At the hiccups there. The Wraiths of the Frozen Heart. They have Frenzy, and they also have Frostbite. So, going to be interesting seeing them here. And I'm noticing Takeyashi, some very heavy infantry influence in his builds. I'm curious to see how this one does for him. Also going to have Deepwood Scouts. Looks like 4 of them kind of in the center with the spears at their back and the Dryads in front. 2 Way Watchers. Oh, now the Dryads going up to them. And then, and then we have AcMaiden pretty much completely deployed on the hill here. We're going to have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 Dryads. We're also going to have Glade Riders with spears. Looks like at least 2 of them Wild Riders with shields, including the Wild Hunters of Kurnos. Now, other than that, we're going to have some Glade Riders with Hagbane Tips, a Spellsinger of Life. And then for the leadership, which I think I neglected on both sides, we have a Spellweaver of High Magic for Takoyaki. Once again, just continuing to surprise with these picks. And then for AcMaiden, we are going to be seeing a Glade Lord. Glade Lord is going to have Helm of Discord as well as Call of the Wood, and he's going to be on top of a Great Stag. Now, the battle begins. Immediately, we're going to see Maiden picking up a very nice pickup here. Picking up a nice pickup, you know what I mean. Picking up a nice little win here, eliminating some Dryads very quickly, and it looks like he may be able to eliminate the second unit as well. Does look like in return Takoyaki has eliminated a Dryad of his own, but we will see what happens from here. Hands of Glory going down on top of the Wraiths of the Frozen Heart here, giving him plus 24 melee attack. And now it looks like AcMaiden is going to be trying to poke and prod and find a way into the juicy center of this Wood Elf army. Thank you so much for the subscription, Biblington. I really appreciate it. That is really kind of you, man. Thank you. Over here, Deepwood Scouts continuing to support the Eternal Guard in their combat. Looks like we actually have some Asteroid Spears in there as well. And now it looks like AcMaiden trying to get around into the backlines and maybe succeeding here, getting some Deepwood Scouts here. Thank you so much, Bucky, for the follow. I really appreciate that, man. So thank you. But sorry, got to keep on doing the battle too. We have the Deepwood Scouts now compromised. This is Bad News Bears and a heal going down, a nice Earthblood placed down on top of the Wild Riders. And I have to say, with this full cav build against, the very infantry-heavy red build, I feel like, the cav has an advantage as long as they keep their micro up. But we will see if that ends up being the case. Right now, we do see the balance power slightly creeping over to AcMaiden. And it doesn't look like he's going to be pulling in for a rear charge. I like that. He's going to pull out of here before we get stuck in combat with any more anti-large infantry. Rowdy Buckwheat. There he is. And thank you for gifting that, Biblington. Over here, Glade Lord diving in. One of the Deepwood Scouts is shattered. Spellweaver of High Magic is in a bad spot. Oh, man, but that Eye of Kurnos going into the Glade Lord, doing a ton of damage. All right, Glade Riders with HWL-8 tips are firing in now. I mean, AcMaiden's looking like he's, pulling into a more secure place. And now looks like the Glade Lord is going to get on top of his Lord. That Spellsinger is not going to enjoy it. Taking some pretty significant damage on the charge. Dryads coming in to play defense for her and allow her to escape. Glade Guard trying to fire in, but the Glade Rider is not going to be able to connect as she retreats over the hilltop. Oh my goodness, in a turn of events, the Glade Lord is now routing, but in come the Wild Riders with shields, getting a huge charge on top of the Dryads. That may turn the tide here, but in support, we're going to see some Eternal Guard for our red player diving into combat, and yeah, this is anybody's game here, but I do think AcMaiden does have a pretty good edge right now as long as his micro can keep up, because he has all the mobility on the field. If you have the mobility on the field, it means you can choose your engagements. So just got to choose your engagements wisely, play it smart, eliminate all these Deepwood Scouts where, which it looks like he is making a concerted effort to do, and save these War Dancers with Azrai Spears for the very end. You don't want to deal with them at all until you absolutely must. Over here, looks like AcMaiden has some Wild Riders sitting idle, Dryads and Eternal Guard getting in there to fight them. Spellweaver of High Magic throwing down an Apotheosis on top of the infantry here instead of herself. An interesting decision. I would honestly heal up my Lord at this point, down at 569 health. A strong breeze may kill her. So, want to keep that magic active if you can. But now look at this. The balance of power is completely shifted. Takoyaki taking a significant lead in the balance of power. Wild Hunters of Kurnos diving into the Dryads. They do magical damage, and the Dryads really do rely on physical resistance, but looks like it may be breaking a bit more even than the Wild Riders would like, and they're going to pull out before they sacrifice too much. Over here, AcMaiden losing his Spellsinger right now. We have the Spellweaver of High Magic coming in. Spellweaver bringing in an interesting group of spells, but not going to have anything to shoot this Spellsinger of Life from afar. Murphalurf, thank you for the follow. Over here, we have the Glade Riders with HWL-8 tips continuing to fire into the big infantry blobs, but yeah, I mean, balance power going a bit more back to the even mark, so AcMaiden bringing it back a bit, but Holy hell, this just took a turn. Alright, over here, see one of AcMaiden's last remaining units of Dryads kind of committing into combat. It doesn't look like there's anything nearby enough to support them with some rear charges into the infantry, and yeah, Wave Stalkers are also going to be running out of ammunition now. Oh, only going to be able to clip off one of the Wild Hunters of Kurnos with that. And it looks like one Wild Rider, but unfortunately not going to get the most value out of those Eyes of Kurnos. Spellsinger of Life, AcMaiden's Lord appears to have been killed off screen, so my apologies. I just, had to protect the kids at home, didn't want them to see such horrible violence. But now over here we see that the Spellweaver of High Magic of Takoyaki is in a precarious situation, kind of getting surrounded. Looks like we're seeing AcMaiden making an effort here to corner her in and eliminate her from the field. An eye for an eye, you kill my lord, I kill your lord. And honestly, that may help a lot in terms of evening up the balance of power, because those heals, the magic is important over here. It looks like he's able to catch them with the Glade Riders, and in comes the Spellsinger of Life, and just like that, balance of power is creeping back towards the even mark, as we're going to be seeing Takoyaki's lord get killed. Hunted down and murdered, really. So there it goes. That's going to apply some leadership penalties across Takoyaki's army, because his lord was murdered. But fortunately for him, he does still have 2 Wave Stalkers, so 2 hero units to help provide that encouragement to this big, fat fist of infantry. And this is not, a joke. This is all anti-large with the exception of the Dryads. You have full health War Dancers, the Astral Spears. You have the Winterheart Guard, who are unbreakable in full health, and yeah, this is going to be tough, but balance of power is in favor of AcMaiden once again, and I stand by what I said earlier. The mobility, you can choose your engagements, and as long as your micro doesn't let you down, I think 8 times out of 10 you're going to win it, unless you're up against some very, very elite infantry, which unfortunately for him there is a decent amount of that with these War Dancers of Astral Spears. Winterheart Guard aren't going to be like crazy kill power, but holy cow, they are going to be so difficult to remove from the battlefield. Don't have to worry about them causing a lot of damage, but you do have to worry about them just lasting longer than your unit's leadership will allow. Over here, Glade Riders diving in to the Deepwood Scouts, narrowly avoiding the Eternal Guard. I like that play. Now they're going to be pulling out some good micro on display here, only losing, 2 models max. Oh no, what's happening here? Looks like one of these Wild Riders is going to be killed. Oh no, you going to get away? Alright, turning around, charging in. It kind of looked like the War Dancers were braced there, but maybe not since one of them is in combat, but I'm pretty sure they fixed that. Over here, we're going to be seeing the charges coming in from the rear now. Glade Riders hitting these Dryads, but I don't know. Can they pull this off right now? Over here, Dryads coming in, hitting the War Dancers in the rear. This is going to provide a very nice opportunity for the Wild Riders to get a nice rear charge. Will it be enough to break the leadership of the War Dancers? In come the second unit of Wild Riders, and these girls are taking a ton of damage. It looks like they're wavering, may begin to rout. AcMaiden pulling it back here. It looks like he's got this one. He's routing a ton of the Wood Elves. It's really the only unit not routing is going to be the Winterheart Guards, and of course the 2 Wave Stalkers who are still hanging out here. But yeah, looks like AcMaiden is going to pull this off unless something really, really crazy happens here. But Eternal Guard still hanging in there. They're unbreakable, and the 2 Wave Stalkers leadership is very, very healthy right now. So I don't know, stranger things have happened. playing this very, very nicely. Using his cav to just chase off these routing units. Why do anything else? Just kill every single unit you were able to successfully route, ensure it's shattered or off the map, and then come back around, get the surround, and murder these guys. I mean, the Eternal Guard here are unbreakable. That's always rough, but at the end of the day, the Waystalker's leadership will not last, and these guys aren't going to have the killing power to, you know, eliminate the remaining Wood Elves on AcMaiden's side. In my humble opinion, but maybe Takoyaki's going to turn me into a liar. Eternal Guard getting hit in the rear there. Once again, getting hit in the rear. Some nice cav micro on display here from AcMaiden. Yeah, really, really nice stuff here. Then coming out, we'll see how the Eternal Guard are doing. Still got about a fifth of their health left. The Waystalker's leadership is really, really low. One of them's wavering. If they can just get that route going, then AcMaiden's got this in the bag. Over here, AcMaiden doing a good job keeping this Waystalker separated from the other, its allies. See, he continues to knock him down. It looks like he's even trying to corral him further away, but just not working out for him right now. Over here, Damsel, or sorry, the Spellsinger of Life. So wavering for a moment, but now looking good again. And here come the Waystalkers, both of them wavering now. There goes one route. Spellsinger beginning to waver, but so is the Waystalker. What is happening? Can the Winterheart Guard win this? Yeah, he's going to abandon that and just go kill off the Waystalker here, which I 100% agree with. You don't want to take any chances.
To the death!
This is what I mean by choosing your engagement. Takoyaki. This is the main weakness of the heavy infantry builds, is what we're seeing right here. I like his playstyle. I really do. I'm just pointing out that I think this is going to be, you know, from the beginning, this was going to be a rough matchup if your opponent was on top of his micro game. AcMaiden, although he did get caught, did take some casualties, you know, I think overall he's just, his micro has been on point. And he's been able to continue to hold this in his favor. There goes a double shatter, and right now, Winterheart Eternal Guard is going to be the only thing on the field, and there goes the heal, Earthblood on top of the remaining Wood Elf forces, and they're coming in for blood. But the Winterheart Guard will never stop defending their homes. But yeah, very well played. AcMaiden able to pull this back in the end. And yeah, well done to him. Over here, Spellsinger going in for the first charge. And we see the Wild Riders, Wild Hunters of Kurnos, and the Glade Riders last, hitting them from all angles. And the Winterheart Guard are going down for the count. 370 HP, and only 10 models left. And just like that, we've got a tied match, folks. AcMaiden coming back, bringing himself into the fight for a tiebreaker. Didn't know elves could fly. You know, surprisingly, with enough force, anyone can fly. They only need a little help from a deer. He's a stag, okay? Alright. Yeah, standard banner rules is such a nail biter. Yeah, it wasn't really a nail biter. Right there until the very bitter end. I mean, Takoyaki really pulling it back into his favor significantly there for a bit, but AcMaiden keeping his composure and coming back for the win with on the back of some good micro from his cavalry there. Cavalry. Once again, it's going to be a bit deceptive. This is why I want them to provide healing stats and, you know, other stats maybe related to the buffs and stuff they provided. Like, you know, X minutes, or like, you know, 130 seconds worth of Hand of Glory, you know, so plus 25 forward melee attack, plus 24% fire rate or whatever the hell it does, you know. I wish they would show that so you could actually see the value of caster heroes over here. Both the Waystalkers getting some good value. You know, a lot of his infantry definitely paying for itself and getting value, especially here, the Asterai Spears kind of playing the role of the depth guard with halberds in this Wood Elf army. But yeah, well played to both players, and I'm excited to see the tie match, or tiebreaker. Locker. The intro card now. Here we have it, AcMaiden with the High Elves taking on Takoyaki with the Lizardmen. This is round 3 of their semifinal match, and the winner takes all proceeds to the final to face off against ODM Saffir. Ay, gracias, Malverde. So, thank you so much, man. Really appreciate the support and the kind words. Let's go ahead and remove the intro card here. Oh, my goodness. And the army blocker. And here we are, loaded in, ready to rock and roll. Starting with our blue player for this tiebreaker, we are going to have AcMaiden leading the High Elves. Now, for the infantry, it looks like we're going to have white lines of trace. 1, 2, 3, and 4 of them. For some artillery support, it looks like we're going to have 3 Eagle Call bolt throwers. These can be quite useful against the Lizardmen. Going to have a noble on a horse here. Looks like he's going to be bringing nothing besides his horse and his halberd. And do we have a second noble? No, just going to be the one. And then up in the air we have Alariel the Radiant. Of course, we have the Star of Averlorn. She is going to be bringing Arcane Conduit along with Tempest, Earthblood, and Foz Protection. We have Dragon Princess down on the ground. Looks like a 1, 2, and 3 of them. And just learn from my mistakes, guys. These guys have 70% fire resistance. Don't, you know, use, for instance, Knights of the Blazing Sun against them. Over here to the Lizardmen, we are going to start once again with their infantry, and let's see what Takoyaki's army is going to consist of. So we have Skink Cohort, 1, 2, 3. Got a Skink Cohort with javelins over here on the left flank, and then it looks like we're going to have 2 over on the right flank. For a bit more heavy-hitting infantry, we're going to have 1, 2, 3 Saurus Warriors. One of them will be Saurus Spears, and all of them will have shields. We have a Salamander Hunting Pack, shoot some fireballs out of their bellies. And then we're going to have Pterodon Riders. Looks like 3 of them with Fire Leech Bolas on top of all of them. Man, Takoyaki's armies are absolutely nuts. Got Krotgar here on top of a horned one, based on the speed, I would say. Hand of the Gods, Deadly Onslaught, Swiftness of Itzel, or no, Sacred Spawning of Sokotel is going to be on top of him. And then we have a Solar Engine, and that Solar Engine is going to have the worst time ever against 3 Eagle Claw Bolt Throwers. So right now, I think based on the builds, oh, just kidding, there's 2 Solar Engines. So I missed that there was 2 of them. That actually will help them quite a lot, and we'll see what happens. Eagle Call Bolt Throwers really going to be wanting to put out pressure as quickly as possible. I think the main trump card, or not trump card because it's not guaranteed, but the main advantage the High Elves have here is there's nothing to heal these Solar Engines. There's nothing to heal any of these guys. Whirlwind or Tempest is going to be going down, and that does a ton of damage. Like, one of these Tempest is just going to devastate this Pterodon Rider with the Fire Leech Bolas. And just like that, you know, the High Elf's getting some pretty nice wins early on here. AcMaiden bringing all the tools necessary to deal with what the Lizardmen are throwing at him so far. Solar Engine going to be opening fire. First shot looks like it's going to be a bit of a miss. There they go, shooting the White Lines of Trace. Ooh, Salamander Hunting Pack opening fire, and right now the Eagle Claw bolt throwers are doing a ton of damage, right? Don't get me wrong, but are they doing it quickly enough? That's the question. Are these Solar Engines going to get too much value done before they can shut them down? But more importantly, it's just like they're not shooting the Salamander Hunting Pack because of the Solar Engines, and that's providing a lot of nice opportunities for these Salamanders to just fire away and do devastating amounts of damage. But the big thing that I think these Lizardmen are going to be in trouble for, you know, after the frontline, you know, engagements are said and done, is just going to be the Dragon Princes. There's 3 of them on the battlefield here for the High Elves. They have access to healing, and as you can see, Krokar looks like he just went on a suicide mission somehow into the deep back line of the High Elves, and I missed it. And yeah, he's not coming out of there alive, I have to say. But maybe Pterodon Rider's going to come in for a nice bombing run. Nope, not going to see that happening. And how the hell is Krokar still alive? Manticore Summon did go down in here too. Somehow Krokar is still alive. He needs to pull out of there. Spear's not even going in to support him. Alright, Solar Engines still alive. Salamander Hunting Pack still alive too. But the Dragon Princes, what are the Lizardmen going to do against them? Unfortunately, 70% fire resistance is going to reduce the Solar Engine value and the Salamander Hunting Pack value. And to me, it just looks like the High Elves here, AcMaiden, may have this battle in the bag as long as he plays it smart. You know, the Tempest are doing a ton of work against the Manticore Summons and the Pterodon Riders, slowing them down and doing damage. But there goes Hand of the Gods doing a ton of damage. Look at this, Alariel! Oh man, that Hand of the Gods changing everything. Do the Lizardmen have an opportunity here to shut down Alariel? And if they do, will it change the course of this battle? Alright, there she goes. She actually stops routing, but she's not getting microed in time. She's going to take a hit from the Manticore. AcMaiden needs to probably just micro her out of there. You know, she's doing okay in combat so far, but yeah, no, I gotta just run away. It looks like she is going to make a break for it. And look at that, the Manticore's beginning to time out. So Alariel looks like she will live to fight another day as long as she stays ahead of that Manticore, which should be easy on the Eagle, which has superior speed, no doubt. Over here, and see that the Lizardmen really losing the balance of power now, and you just have Dragon Princes coming in here to crunch down on top of the Lizardmen infantry. And I think what we're seeing here is in that first battle, you know, actually, yeah, no, the first battle, just like, you know, expert play from Takoyaki. And here I think it's never been like his micro suffering either. It's just been a matter of, I feel like AcMaiden has read his opponent's builds pretty well. Going the full, you know, mobility against the infantry, I think worked out in the end. And I think here, you know, it's just a very nicely built High Elf army that has all the tools you need. And Takoyashi's going to have a very hard time pulling this back into his favor. How in the hell is Krokar still alive? Somebody riddle me that, please. Somebody explain to me how he's still alive at this point of the battle. He was getting whomped on so early. Yeah, Manticore Summon sounds a bit overdone, isn't it? Krokar, are you madman? Does he have another Hand of the Gods? And if he does, is he going to blast Alariel in the face? Because if he does, I would die. I would die! It'd be the funniest thing ever. God, I can be obnoxious when I'm feeling tired and zany. Zanny, whenever you say it, like. Solar engines continuing to fire away. There goes the second and last Star of Averlorn. It's going to be hitting Ariel, and just like that, Takayashi's going to concede defeat, but holy hell, what a great series. Congratulations. Very well deserved by AcMaiden there. Well played. But a huge shout out to Takayashi. I feel like it's the first time I've seen him playing in one of my tournaments. If he is, you know, on the East Asian area and time zone, that would explain why I haven't seen him too often. It's very hard for them to play in my tournaments, although we do have some regulars like Kark and a few others, Han Samurai and Han Chosen on the Norns who show up. But they have to stay up late to play, so, you know, it's always when these games get to the late stage, you know, it's probably getting to be like 8 a.m. and then for the 8 a.m. or so for them, and, you know, playing through the night is always a difficult thing. And we saw some excellent builds and some excellent micro from him in this best of 3, and I'm definitely going to be throwing something up on YouTube besides just the battle to highlight that manual fire from Queen Bessie. That was absolutely gorgeous, and haven't seen it done to quite that extent yet. Very nice rhythm, clearly some practice going in there, and it didn't look like he suffered at all in terms of the micro outside of doing that too. So really speaking volumes to the practice and to the thought that goes into those kinds of builds. So AcMaiden going to proceed, going up to take on ODM Sapphire, and time to see who will win today's tournament.